It's after 11 o'clock. You're watching WTKR News 3. I'm Jessica Larche, and we're up late to break down the President's State of the Union.
Our nation is back, bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before.
President Donald Trump addresses the nation. His take on where things stand in our country as some lawmakers voice their opposition.
We did not hear the truth from our president.
Governor Abigail Spanberger is set to respond to President Donald Trump's State of the Union address from one of the nation's most historical sites. 2 points she's focusing on is affordability and global uncertainty. That story coming up.
I'm Jessica Davis at Lakeland High School, where students joined nationwide protest against immigration customs enforcement.
Finally, some warm air is back in the forecast. Question is, how long will it last, and will rain be an issue later this week? Details straight ahead.
News 3 at 11 starts right now. President Donald Trump delivering his 2026 State of the Union address in front of a joint session of Congress tonight. The president focused on the economy in his first year back in office and laid out the Republican agenda heading into the midterm elections. And Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger delivered the Democratic response. We'll have more on her rebuttal in a few moments. But first, here's Erica Brown with an update from the Capitol.
President of the United States.
President Trump arrived in the House chamber of the Capitol to largely thunderous applause, and he highlighted the country's 250th birthday, defended his record, and laid out his agenda with a focus on the economy.
Inflation is plummeting. Incomes are rising fast. The roaring economy is roaring like never before. The price of eggs is down 60%. The cost of chicken, butter, fruit, hotels, automobiles, rent is lower today than when I took office by a lot.
But while the president touts his economic policies, a new CBS News poll shows 61% of those surveyed disapprove of his handling of the economy, and only 37% say the economy is in good condition. The president also discussed his nationwide crackdown on crime, pointing to a significant decline in murder rates.
This is the biggest decline, think of it, in recorded history, the lowest number in over 125 years.
And on his policy abroad, the president issued a stern warning to Iran as he weighs potential military action over its nuclear program.
One thing is certain, I will never allow the world's #1 sponsor of terror, which they are by far, to have a nuclear weapon. Can't let that happen.
Dozens of Democratic lawmakers boycotted the president's address, with some holding a counter program on the National Mall. Among President Trump's guests was Erica Kirk, the widow of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, and members of the U.S. men's hockey team who won the gold medal during the Winter Olympic Games. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger delivered the Democratic response tonight. Our team is breaking down her rebuttal.
I'm Romello Stiles here at Colonial Williamsburg at a historic site. This behind me used to be the state capitol, where Virginia leaders laid the foundation for the nation's independence. Now, Governor Abigail Spanberger will be giving her response to President Donald Trump's State of the Union. She was picked by the Democrats to do so. One topic that she's focusing on is affordability.
Tonight, as we watched our nation's lawmakers gather for a joint session of Congress, we did not hear the truth from our president.
Governor Spanberger is delivering her response from Colonial Williamsburg, tying today's political climate to the birthplace of American democracy. She centered her message on affordability, pointing to the rising cost of housing, health care, energy, and groceries, and arguing that families across Virginia are feeling squeezed.
And tonight, the president celebrated this law, the one threatening rural hospitals, stripping health care from millions of Americans and driving up costs in energy and housing, all while cutting food programs for hungry kids.
The governor also addressed what she described as chaos caused by the Trump administration, specifically highlighting immigration enforcement actions and ICE operations that she says are impacting communities across the country.
Our president has sent poorly trained federal agents into our cities, where they have arrested and detained American citizens and people who aspire to be Americans. And they have done it without a warrant.
With the midterm elections ahead, the governor framed her response as a call to action, urging accountability in Washington and engagement from voters here at home. Reporting in Colonial Williamsburg, Romello Stiles, WTKR News 3.
Now to a big statewide development tonight. Virginians will not head to the polls in June. The State Department of Elections announced today that the primary elections will now be on August 4th. The State Board of Elections says the change is because House Bill 29 became law last Friday. That law stated that the primary election previously set for June 16th would now be moved to August 4th. State leaders say this does not change the April redistricting referendum set for April 21st. This change also brings a new set of deadlines for voter registration and requesting a mail-in ballot. We spoke with local political analyst Dr. Eric Claville at Norfolk State University about the change and what this means for voters and the candidates.
This allows new candidates that are expected to run in the new congressional districts to be able to campaign, and also to give the voters an opportunity to understand the platforms and who they'll actually be voting for.
Our coverage continues on those new dates now at WTKR.com. In Virginia Beach, neighbors lined up in the West Neck neighborhood to help the Republican Party of Virginia determine a candidate for House District 98. A special election will be held in a few weeks following the passing of Delegate Barry Knight last week. The party selected Andrew Rice. The Virginia Beach Democratic Committee has canceled its caucus, though, because Cheryl Smith is the only candidate to file by the deadline. So Cheryl Smith is the Democratic nominee. That special election will be March 17th. Turning our attention now to the forecast as we take a live look over the Virginia Beach ocean front on this Tuesday night. Warmer air is not far away, and that's good news, right? Let's bring in our chief meteorologist, David Aldrich, now with an update on how warm we'll get and when.
Jessica, our neighborhood weather watchers had temperatures today in the lower to mid 40s, but now the question is, how long is it going to take? Just how long is it going to take before we actually get a little milder? That's tomorrow. Yes, there'll be some clouds to start, maybe becoming partly cloudy in the afternoon. But you look at our current readings right now, we're in the mid 30s, at least in the south side. North Carolina's at 37. The winds have picked up a little bit, and that southwest wind will kind of level off the temperatures, and they'll stop in generally in the lower to mid 30s. We have 36 right now in Portsmouth, 37 Elizabeth City. Clouds may be on the increase, especially while we sleep, as those clouds will get reinforcements of what's coming in from West Virginia. But tomorrow, we'll wake up generally in the lower to mid 30s.
Late Tuesday morning, high school students in Suffolk left their classrooms to protest immigration customs enforcement. I'm Jessica Davis at Lakeland High School, and students say this protest was to show solidarity to immigrants who may feel frightened at this time. The protest started at 10:15 with students walking out of the building to the school's bus ramp. We were told to move from the area to the tennis courts, where we could see students walking in circles holding signs. Although we were far away, it looks like there were at least 80 students participating. I could see a few holding a Mexican flag and chanting. The demonstration lasted about 15 minutes as students were escorted by staff back into the building. We weren't able to speak with any students during the demonstration, but on Tuesday, high school students in Williamsburg and James City County joined schools like Lakeland to protest nationwide ICE operations. In Suffolk, Jessica Davis, WTKR News 3.
New details now from Virginia Beach. City leaders have set a start date for the earlier curfew for people under 18 in the resort city. So beginning March 19th, the curfew for unaccompanied minors will run from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. We told you last week that the City Council unanimously approved this change. This 10 p.m. curfew is 1 hour earlier than the current ordinance. Violators could face a misdemeanor charge. There are a few exceptions, though, including emergencies or late-night work hours. Well, one of the top high school girls basketball teams in our community is forfeiting and seeing its season come to an end. News 3 Sports Director Mark Davis joining us now. And Mark, a possible state title contender will not get the chance to play on despite a dominating campaign.
Yeah, that's right, Jessica. Manor putting together one of its best seasons ever. But today, the Mustangs informing the rest of the region that due to the use of an ineligible player, they will forfeit their postseason win over Gloucester last week and see their slate come to an end. Now, this video of that playoff game against the Dukes, I want to make clear these are just plays from that contest and that the player deemed ineligible has not been identified. Portsmouth Public Schools confirming the forfeit to News 3 earlier this evening. Manor 21-1 on the season and expected to compete for a Region 4A crown. The Mustangs' only defeat on the court coming to Class 5 powerhouse Menchville earlier this season. Now, the school system issuing this statement saying in part, today the Manor girls basketball team determined that an ineligible player participated in a postseason contest, and adding the win over Gloucester would be forfeited. The Mustangs self-reporting the violation. The team set to face War Hill tonight, but now Gloucester will face the Lions tomorrow. Now, coming up in sports, we're taking a look at tonight's playoff action, and we'll see if Old Dominion could get back in the win column as well as time winds down on the Monarch season. I'm Mark Davis, WTKR News 3 Sports.
All right, Mark, we'll see you again in just a few moments. Also coming up tonight at 11, a new historical marker memorializing a former president is coming to one of our neighborhoods. The steps that need to happen to make sure that marker is in place. But first, here's David.
Jessica, if you're like many at home, tired of the chill temperatures tonight and overnight, tonight will be in the mid-30s for many of us, but we're looking forward to the 50s. They'll be back later tomorrow. More on that forecast in a moment.
You're watching WTKR News 3, part of the Scripps News Group.